हेलो एवरीवन। आज हम लोग देखेंगे सीजर इन चिल्ड्रन, जो कि एक टॉपिक है। किसी का आपका पीडीए का टॉपिक हो जाता है, ठीक है। तो हम लोग आज शुरू करेंगे इस चीज़ को। तो सबसे पहले आप ये समझिए कि सीजर जो होता है ना, वो बहुत तरह के होते हैं और उनको डिफ्रेंशिएट करना है। आज हम अच्छे तरीके से डिफरेंट सीजर को हम लोग डिफ्रेंशिएट करेंगे और सीजर को मेनिंजाइटिस से भी अलग करेंगे, ठीक है। तो सबसे पहले सीजर, जो सीजर है उसमें हमारा फेब्राइल सीजर है पहला। तो जो फेब्राइल सीजर है ना, वो कब होगा? तो फेब्राइल सीजर जो है का कंडीशन ये है कि जो टेम्परेचर है वो 100 डिग्री फ़ारेनहाइट से ऊपर होना चाहिए। 104 डिग्री फ़ारेनहाइट से 100.4 डिग्री फ़ारेनहाइट से ज़्यादा होना चाहिए। और उसके साथ क्या होना चाहिए? एविडेंस नहीं होना चाहिए सीएनएस इन्फेक्शन वगैरह का, ठीक है। और एज ग्रुप जो है वो 6 महीने से 5 साल के बीच में होना चाहिए, तभी ये फेब्राइल सीजर कहलाएगा, ठीक है। मान ले जाए कि यहाँ पे एविडेंस आ जाता है सीएनएस इन्फेक्शन का, तो वो केस हो सकता है मेनिंजाइटिस का केस हो जाएगा। तो इसलिए सबसे पहले हमें रूल आउट करना है कि सीएनएस इन्फेक्शन नहीं होना चाहिए, तभी हम कहेंगे फेब्राइल सीजर है। फेब्राइल सीजर के जो दो कंडीशन है वो है, पहला कंडीशन ये कि जो टेम्परेचर है वो 100.4 डिग्री फ़ारेनहाइट से ज़्यादा होना चाहिए। और दूसरा कंडीशन ये है कि एज ग्रुप जो है 6 महीने से 5 साल के बीच में होना चाहिए और चाइल्ड में ही होता है, ठीक है। उसके बाद यदि हम आगे बढ़ें, तो हम आगे यदि बढ़ते हैं तो वो टाइप्स की बात करने लगते हैं। तो टाइप्स यदि बात करें कि टाइप्स कितने प्रकार के फेब्राइल सीजर होते हैं, तो एक होता है सिंपल फेब्राइल सीजर, एक होता है कॉम्प्लेक्स फेब्राइल सीजर। जो सिंपल होता है वो जनरलाइज्ड होता है और ये लास्ट करता है 15 मिनट से कम टाइम तक के लिए लास्ट करता है। और ये एक बार यदि हो जाता है तो उसका दूसरा एपिसोड नहीं होता है। फीवर का दूसरा एपिसोड में मतलब एक बार होने के बाद दूसरा बार नहीं होगा सीजर उस फीवर के साथ। मगर जो दूसरा केस है कॉम्प्लेक्स फेब्राइल सीजर, वो फोकल होता है, फोकल इन नेचर, और 15 मिनट से ज़्यादा लास्ट करता है और फ्रीक्वेंट होता है, आते जाते रहता है। एक बार सीजर आ गया तो उसके बाद फिर से सीजर आ सकता है। मगर जो सिंपल फेब्राइल सीजर है उसमें जो है एक बार सीजर आने के, एक एपिसोड आने के बाद जो है दूसरी बार नहीं आएगा एपिसोड। अब दूसरा तीसरा चीज़ ये है कि अब इसे मैनेज करना है। तो जो मैनेज करना है तो उसमें क्या है कि मेक चाइल्ड लाई डाउन इन लेफ्ट लेटरल पोजीशन, जो रिकवरी पोजीशन है। तो लेफ्ट लेटरल मतलब क्या हुआ कि बाएं लेटरल पोजीशन में रहेगा। लेफ्ट मतलब बायां और लेटरल मतलब कि वो इस तरह, देखिए आप देख सकते हैं, इसी तरह आपको रखना है। ये ऐसा क्यों रखना है? ताकि जो है ऐसा ना हो कि जो एयर वे ब्रीदिंग एंड सर्कुलेशन, तीन जो है चीज है एबीसी जो कहा जाता है, व्हाट वी से एबीसी ना, दैट शुड बी मेंटेन्ड इन दिस कंडीशन, ओके। तो यदि हम इफ वी आर एट होम ना, देन हम देन वी हैव टू सिक्योर द आईवी रूट्स। यदि हम आईवी रूट सिक्योर ना कर पाए तो इंटर ओसियस रूट सिक्योर करेंगे। यदि इंटर ओसियस रूट भी सिक्योर ना कर पाए, इंटर ओसियस रूट भी सिक्योर ना कर पाए, तो हम फिर उसके बाद नेजल एंड बकल रूट को देखेंगे और उससे क्या करेंगे कि नेजल नेजल रूट से मिडाजोलाम देंगे और रेक्टल रूट से डाइजीपाम देकर होम पे यदि है तो उस सीजर को मतलब कंट्रोल करेंगे। और यदि हम इफ वी आर एट हॉस्पिटल ना, देन वी कैन गिव हिम आईवी आईवी ऑफ व्हाट थिंग, लोराजी पाम या मिडाजोलाम देंगे, आईवी देंगे, ठीक है। जो सिंपल फेब्राइल सीजर है जो सिंपल फेब्राइल सीजर है वो लॉन्ग टर्म एंटी इपिलेप्टिक ड्रग जो है उसमें नहीं देंगे। सिंपल फेब्राइल सीजर में लॉन्ग टर्म एंटी इपिलेप्टिक ड्रग नहीं देंगे। मगर इफ देर इज ए रिकरेंट एपिसोड, ठीक है, रिकरेंट एपिसोड ऑफ सीजर, then we can give intermittent prophylaxis with clobazam given for फर्स्ट 3 डे ऑफ फीवर। इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि यदि रिकरेंट एपिसोड ऑफ सीजर यदि आ रहा है तो क्लोबाजाम देंगे जो कि प्रोफाइलेक्सिस है। यदि फीवर आया, जो फर्स्ट 3 डे ऑफ फीवर रहेगा उसी टाइम हम लोग को क्लोबाजाम दे देना है, ताकि क्या होगा, एपिलेप्सी जो ये सीजर जो है वो कंट्रोल में रह जाए। और पैरासीटामोल तो देंगे ही फीवर को डिक्रीज करने के लिए और कंफर्टेबल करने के लिए, टू मेक कंफर्टेबल child. So it does not, means paracetamol does not decrease the risk of febrile seizure recurrence. जो पैरासीटामोल है डज नॉट डिक्रीज द रिस्क ऑफ फेब्राइल सीजर, और इफ वी हैव कॉम्प्लेक्स फेब्राइल सीजर then we can give valproate, then we can give valproate. Factors, now we are going to study the factors, different factors which increases the risk of recurrence of febrile seizure. Then the factors, first factor is the age is less than 1 year at onset, मतलब age should be at less than 1 year and it start from that only, ठीक है, okay. Then after, temperature will be between 100.4 degree Fahrenheit to 102 degree Fahrenheit, ठीक, okay. Then the duration of the fever should be less than 24 hours. These are the conditions which increases the risk of recurrence of febrile seizure. Family history of febrile seizure. If anybody in the family have the history of febrile seizure, then there is a chance that the child will get febrile seizure, okay. Then complex febrile seizure is the risk factor of recurrence of febrile seizure, or decrease in serum sodium at presentation. If the child comes to the hospital and we see that the serum mm, of serum sodium is low, then we can say that this will increase the risk of recurrence of febrile seizure. Then after, the risk factor for the epilepsy of the child with febrile seizure. Risk factors, what are the risk factors for the epilepsy in a child which is having febrile seizure, okay. Then the risk factor is, means what are the conditions in which a child will get epilepsy if he or she has febrile seizure. Then if the child is having simple febrile seizure, then the risk factor of epilepsy is 1%. If the risk factor of complex febrile seizure, if the child is having complex febrile seizure, then the risk factor of epilepsy is 6%. If the child is having fever for less than 1 hour before seizure, then the risk factor of epilepsy will be 11%. It means these are the conditions which show that there are the fact, means if any child is having febrile seizure, then this they may get into the epilepsy. And what are the risk factor, risk percentage of the epilepsy is that the simple febrile seizure have the risk percentage of epilepsy is 1%, and the complex febrile seizure have the risk percent of epilepsy is 6%. Then after, the fever for less than 1 hour before seizure, then the epilepsy risk is 11%. If the family history of epilepsy is having anyone having anybody in the family have the history of epilepsy, then the risk factor of epilepsy is 29%. As you can see that there is a increase in the risk of epilepsy with time and with change in seizure. Like if we see the simple febrile seizure have the risk epilepsy of 1%, and if the child is having focal seizure, then he or she is having the risk of epilepsy is 29%. Then you can see that are the means what are the different thing we have to think of. If anybody come to our OPD with having seizure or with having epilepsy or with having family history of epilepsy, then what we can do and what are the risk percentage of epilepsy. Like if the children is having pre-existing neurodevelopmental abnormality, then the risk factor of epilepsy is more than 33%, yeah, up to 33%, which is highest. Then after we are going to study about a status of epilepticus in children. What is a status epilepticus in children? So then the definition says that the seizure which lasts more than 5 minutes, or the children presenting with multiple episode of seizure without regaining of consciousness, or child presenting with ongoing seizure to medical facilities. In this para, mm, we have to understand that in simple words we can say that the seizure, if the seizure lasts for more than 5 minutes, and if with multiple episode of seizure without regaining consciousness, or child presenting with ongoing seizure to medical facility, means the child is having ongoing seizure. If he comes to OPD and we are treating the child, then after also he is having, then after he also is having seizure, then we can say that it is a condition, it is known as a status epilepticus. What are the different conditions? More than 5 minutes of seizure, first thing. Second thing is with presence of multiple episode of seizure, plus loss of consciousness without regaining of consciousness, loss of consciousness, not regaining the consciousness. ठीक है, okay. Then after the child is present with seizure as we are treating, then after he is also having the seizure, then we can say it is the condition that the child is having a status epilepticus. Okay, then we can see the management part. Then what the management says, if there is a medical emergency, then we have to manage the airway, breathing and circulation to be maintained, and we have to secure the IV access. Okay, if we are not able to secure the IV access, na, then we can secure the intraosseous access. If we are not able to secure the intraosseous access, then we can go to nasal or buccal route, or we can give midazolam to that, through that route. Okay, if the child comes to our OPD with presence of seizure for the first time, then we can say that we have to rule out the first thing is that hypoglycemia should not be there. Okay, if hypoglycemia or hypocalcemia is there, then it is not a seizure for the first time. Okay, if seizure comes, if we are treating, then after ongoing seizure comes, then we have to give IV of lorazepam or midazolam. Or seizure persist, if seizure persist after treating the child, then we can give IV phenytoin to 20 mg per kg of body weight. Okay, and repeat 10 mg per kg. If seizure still persisting, it is not going, then we can give IV valproate or levetiracetam or phenobarbital. Okay, then we come to breakthrough seizure. What is breakthrough seizure? Then the seizure developing again in children who is known case of seizure disorder or antiepileptic drug. Means if a child is having seizure and known case of seizure disorder, then after the seizure is developing again and again, or the child is taking anti-epileptic drug, then this is a condition, we can say that it is a condition of breakthrough seizure. The first drug we can give in breakthrough seizure is IV lorazepam or midazolam. Okay, and we can check the compliance with anti-epileptic drugs. What is the compliance of anti-epileptic drugs? We have to check it. If if there is any history of missed dose of anti-epileptic drug or vomiting or diarrhea is there, then mini load mini load with same drug 10 mg per kg of valproate, phenytoin or levetiracetam and consider increasing the maintaining the dose. If means this want to say that if there is a history that the child has missed the dose of anti-epileptic drug or have the history of vomiting or the history of having the diarrhea, these are all the conditions the medication goes out of the body, then we have to load the mini load the same drug 10 mg per kg of valproate or phenytoin or फिर levetiracetam levetiracetam and consider maintaining the dose. Okay, then what is epilepsy? At least one episode of unprovoked seizure or with either seizure recurrence with significant clinical or EEG abnormality, then we can say it epilepsy. Epilepsy means there is at least one episode, एक एपिसोड होना ही चाहिए अनप्रोवोक्ड सीजर का with seizure, either seizure recurrence means seizure comes after taking medication and or significant clinical or EEG abnormality is seen, then this is a condition of epilepsy. Epilepsy syndrome with good prognosis. What are the different means epilepsy which have the good prognosis is benign neonatal seizure, or second is benign infantile seizure, and third one is benign childhood epilepsy with temporal spike, childhood absence epilepsy, juvenile myoclonic epilepsy. These are all the epilepsy syndrome with good prognosis. As you can see the age, then the child absence epilepsy, then the child absence epilepsy is having usually no aura or post-ictal phase, means no aura or post-ictal phase is present, then there is a childhood absence of epilepsy. Eye blinking or lip smacking are the or vacant stare are the different conditions which signify that there is a childhood absence of epilepsy. Our EEG findings shows that there is a 3 3 hertz spike and wave pattern is seen. Then the drug of choice is valproate in India and ethosuximide in West. Okay. Then after juvenile myoclonic epilepsy. What is juvenile? Means juvenile at the age of means 11, 12, 13 all adolescence age group. Okay. So onset it should be in adolescence only. In this we have can see myoclonic jerk more in early morning when we wake up, then we can see myoclonic jerk and drop attack or dropping object means कोई भी object छूट जाना इस this is these are the condition of juvenile myoclonic epilepsy and the drug of choice is valproate. Okay, then after Best syndrome. Best syndrome is infantile. There are the three triads which we see in West syndrome is infantile spasm. Okay. Then the second is global developmental delay, and third one is high 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 hypsarrhythmia. Okay. Then the drug of choice is injection of ACTH, adenocorticotropic hormone, and the drug of choice in infantile spasm in children with a tuberous sclerosis is vigabatrin. Okay, then the epilepsy syndrome with poor prognosis are Ohtara syndrome, which is seen in infancy, and West syndrome in Lennox-Gastaut syndrome. Okay, then Dravet syndrome, Rasmus syndrome, Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, which is seen in 3 to 10 year of child. Okay, these are the epilepsy syndrome which have poor prognosis. Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, which has the onset of which is in the child which has the age group of 3 to 10 year, or Ohtara syndrome or West syndrome, or in Lennox-Gastaut syndrome comes after Ohtara syndrome, then it develops into West syndrome, then it develops and becomes Lennox-Gastaut syndrome. In this, we can see developmental delay or intellectual disability. Multiple seizure type present in same individual. Difficulty to control despite multiple antiepileptics, EEG, 1 to 2 hertz, slow wave and spike patterns. Okay, thank you.